Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you a brand new what if. What if Naruto learned the clone secret in the beginning, guys? Part 1. I'm not going to be continuing with what if Naruto had divine powers. I can see that most of you guys don't like that. Depending on the analytics, I can see guys, it's really low. I can see that in the future most of you are just going to stop watching it in all completely. But I think you're gonna enjoy this one a lot much better. And also stay tuned because over at Anime King, I'm also gonna be posting something new over there as well. Along with what if Naruto was the Uzumaki king. And later on I'm gonna be posting what if Naruto pushed himself to his limit on this channel. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. You can also go ahead and check out the Engulfing Silence and enjoy for yourself guys. The link will be down in the description. And yeah, remember if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. It was early morning in Konoha, as we go to one familiar apartment. As an alarm clock could be sound, Naruto jumped as he fell out of bed. As he went and shut off his alarm, as he yawned loudly, as he then stretched. He looked at the alarm clock, it was fairly old and worn from use, as he found it in a trash can and fixed it up. As he wondered why did he set the alarm in the first place, he had never used it before. His eyes then went over towards the calendar, as his eyes went wide. That's right, it's a final exam. I'm gonna become a ninja, he said. As he rushed into the bathroom and turned on the water, which was freezing cold but he has gotten used to it by now. His landlord was a cranky old lady, and like most of the people in the village, she hated him, so she didn't revert any hot water to his apartment, but he's used to it by now, as he went and go into his closet after taking a bath, to see nothing but orange jumpsuit. They were too expensive to buy, so he just waited, as no one would really buy it, and the shop owner decided to throw them away. But Naruto ended up taking them after the man threw them in the bin, and these became his favorite. It didn't bother him though, as he put on one of them, after heating up some instant ramen, as he headed out. Moments later, Naruto slid the academy door open. Looking inside trying to find a seat, his eyes landed on the seat right beside Sasuke. As he didn't know what was so special about that guy. Everyone gave him everything he wanted and Sasuke was always brooding. Even though he get everything on a silver platter and all the girls love him. Especially Sakura. Not being able to find anywhere else to sit, Naruto went over and sit beside him. Teen, Naruto said, which is another word for bastard. That was all Sasuke said. As Naruto rolled his eyes at the response he received, as he had grown used to that kind of response. Hell, that was the only response Sasuke gave most people. The only one quieter than Sasuke was Aberame Shino, a member of the famed Aberame clan, and Naruto was sure that that kid was mute. I hope you're ready to bask in my awesomeness, as I kick ass today, said Naruto, hoping to get a reaction out of him. That was all Sasuke said. As Naruto grit his teeth in frustration, he then heard a yell, as he saw Sakura Haruno enter the class. 6 years of trying to go on a date with her, but all attempts had failed. But Naruto is not one to give up. Hey Sakura-chan, he said as he waved at the girl. How about after school you and I shut up Naruto Baka, she said. As she punched him, knocked him right back into his seat. I don't want to hear your annoying voice today. And move so I can sit next to my Sasuke-kun, she said. As she pushed him off the seat. So Sasuke-kun, I was thinking after school we can go on a date together, she said, as she twirled her finger in her ear. As she gave him a rather shy look. Sasuke didn't but spare a glance, as she sighed. Naruto winced a bit as he stood up, as he went to take the seat on Sasuke's left. He has grown used to this over the years. Multiple times asked Naruto on a date and she always rejects him. And he always seemed to pick himself back up right after that. He even wonders sometimes, was it worth it? He shook his head as Iruka came into class along with Mizuki. Alright class, it's time to see who among you are to receive your headbands and become ninja of Konoha, said Iruka. As Naruto grinned, I can do this, he said, as he was full of confidence. He was training late last night and he was positive he could pass the test. Now when I call your name, I want you to come into the room and perform the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto's eyes went wide when he heard that. That was one of his worst things to ask him to do, as no matter what, he just couldn't do it. As Naruto watched as the kids went in and came out, their headbands on their head proudly. It was nearly enough to make him lose confidence. However, he clenched his fist. He was not going to fail again no matter what. Uzumaki Naruto, Iruka called out. Naruto grinned as he made his way in there, as Iruka was sitting along with Mizuki. Alright Naruto, show us what you can do, said Iruka, as Iruka just started to get to know the boy yesterday, seeing that he just had a talk with Hokage after Naruto painted the Hokage's monument. It reminded him like himself. He used to pull pranks all the time when he was younger, because he wanted attention as well. So in the end, he just wished the boy luck. As Naruto went through Hanstein, as he channeled his chakra, there was a poof of smoke. When the smoke cleared, there was a white clone lying on the ground, his tongue sticking out, like he was half dead. Several teeth marks appeared on Iruka's head as he looked at the clone. You failed, he said. Naruto's eyes widened. He couldn't understand. How could he fail? But he had tried so hard this time. How? Come on Iruka, I think we can make an exception this time, said Mizuki. I mean, while he didn't make a clone, he tried really hard, as that surprised Iruka and Naruto. I can't do that. Everyone else was able to create at least 3 clones, and Naruto managed to only create 1, and look at it. It's no use. I'm sorry Naruto, but I can't pass you. Later that day, class ended as Naruto was sitting on his swing set, as he watched parents hugging their children, smiling, the children happy with big smiles on their faces. Having never known his parents, it was hard for him, as the orphanage woman told him that his parents left, not wanting to keep a monster like him, and the Hokage told him that his parents died when the Kyuubi attacked. Seeing all of these people with their parents, it hurt. As Naruto then heard the conversation, I am so glad that that boy did not graduate. He has always been blessed with enhanced hearing, smelling, his vision. It is most better than most other people. But sometimes that was a curse, hearing what the people have to say about him. Yeah, I know. Could you imagine if he became a ninja? He's the... Hey, shh. Remember, we're not allowed to talk about that. Every time they reach this point, they always stop, as Naruto still don't understand why. Why they hate him. Hey there, Naruto. Naruto turned to see Mizuki walking up to him. Mizuki-sensei, he said. Come with me. I want to tell you something. Moments later. Really? Naruto said, as him and Mizuki sit on top of the academy. As Mizuki nodded, yes, that's all you have to do, and you pass. Alright, Naruto said, I'll do it. And with that he headed off, leaving Mizuki with an evil smile on his face. A couple minutes later, Naruto grinned as he entered the Hokage's office, having sneaked past all of the guards. As Naruto was surprised how easy it was, but he just put it up to his amazing sneaking skills. Now let's see, where's that scroll, Naruto said, looking around. As Naruto saw a stand right next to a shelf, as he saw the giant scroll on it. This has got to be it, Naruto says. He grabbed it and tied the end with some ninja wires before strapping it on his back. He was about to leave when the door opened and Sarutobi walked in. Naruto? What are you doing here? Well, you see... Naruto went through Hanstein. Sexy jutsu, he said. Moments later, Naruto snickered to himself as he was in the forest. Huh, I showed that old man. Who's boss? If it's so easy to take him out, maybe they should just make me Hokage already, he said to himself. As he unrolled the scroll, the first thing he saw was Shadow Clone, not another clone technique. Oh man. Well, probably should get to work. As Naruto looked over the description of the jutsu first. The Shadow Clone technique. B rank jutsu. Forbidden jutsu. That can only be used by ninja with higher than normal chakra reserves. This jutsu takes the user's chakra and divides it equally to create solid copies of the original. The more chakra the user has, the more clones they can create. Be warned, this jutsu also gives memory feedback every time a clone is dispelled, and it has been known to kill people who overuse it due to this particular trait. As Naruto gulped a bit, as he wondered what memory feedback mean. But it doesn't matter, he's Uzumaki Naruto after all, and he will master this and he will not die. As he began to learn. Less than an hour later, Naruto looked at the 10 copies of himself in front of him. The jutsu had been really easy. As he reached out and poked one of them, "Stop, that tickled," the clone said, as he smacked Naruto's hand away. Naruto grinned as he jumped up. "Yeah, I did it," he said, jumping up and down. "Yeah," all the clone said, emulating his actions. As Naruto dispelled the clone since he didn't need them right now, but when he did, he saw the images of the clones from 10 different perspectives. What the hell? Was it that what the scroll was talking about, or instead about memory, whatever? He shrugged. You should probably ask Gigi about it. He was about to go over some more jutsu when he heard a voice. "Hey, there you are." As Naruto jumped up, "Found you, Aruka-sensei." "Idiot! I found you," Aruka said, stomping in front of Naruto. Naruto scratched the back of his head. "Yeah, I guess you did. You were pretty fast though. I only managed to learn one of the jutsus." Aruka looked around. He has been training. I can tell. "So, Aruka-sensei, can I graduate now that I learned one of the jutsus?" "Graduate? What?" said Aruka. As Naruto nodded. "Yeah, that's how it works, right? I learned a jutsu from the scroll and then you let me graduate." Aruka was confused. "Naruto, who told you could graduate this way?" he asked. "Huh? Mizuki-sensei did. He told me about the secret test and where to find this scroll and about this place." Aruka's eyes widened. He then heard something. "Get down!" as he pushed Naruto out of the way. Several kunais came from tree and impaled Aruka like an arm. As he scowled. "I see. So that's how it is. Wow, you got here pretty fast." As Naruto looked up in shock to see Mizuki with a smirk on his face. "Mizuki-sensei, what's going on? Why are you attacking Aruka-sensei?" "Give me the scroll, Naruto," said Mizuki, holding out his hand. "No, don't give it to him," said Aruka. What's going on?" Naruto asked, as he was not certain what to do. "Mizuki, use you to get the scroll. That scroll contained Konoha's secret and forbidden jutsu," Aruka yelled. "Oh, I'll tell you who's lying, Naruto," said Mizuki with a smirk. As Aruka instantly realized what Mizuki was about to do. "Mizuki, don't say it! It's forbidden!" "Naruto, I'm not lying to you. Let me tell you the truth. They've been lying to you your entire life, ever since what happened 12 years ago. 12 years ago? I don't understand," Naruto said. "No, Mizuki, don't," said Aruka. "Haven't you ever wondered why you were hated? Why you were ignored? Why people treat you less than dirt? Mizuki, stop it now! Let me tell you why. You see, what they don't want you to know. The fourth Hokage never really killed the nine-tailed fox. It was sealed inside of a baby on that night. The same night as your birth. It's you. You are the nine-tailed fox." Naruto collapsed to his knees. Everything made sense now. The glare, the hatred. Why people tell their children stay away from him. So I'm the demon then. Mizuki smirked as he pulled a giant Fuma shuriken and thrust it towards Naruto. As Naruto was so caught up in his turmoil, he did not see it. As Naruto saw something flashed in front of him. Looking up, he saw Aruka looking at him with a painful expression on his face. As Naruto's eyes widened when he looked at Aruka's back. "Why?" "Because we're the same," Aruka said. "I was just like you. Back when I was in the academy, I was so lonely, so I played the fool as well. I know what it is to feel that kind of pain. It hurt. I'm so sorry, Naruto. I should have done more to help you." Mizuki burst out laughing. "That's a good one, Aruka. But we both know that you hate him most of all. Because it was the demon that took your parents after all." As Naruto's eyes widened when he heard that. Looking at Aruka. "No, Naruto," Aruka said as Naruto grabbed the scroll and ran off. Moments later, Mizuki and Aruka were at it again. As Naruto was hiding behind a tree. "Why are you going so far to protect this demon? You know what he will do now because he has the scroll. He will destroy Konoha." "Well, yes, that is how most demons are," said Aruka, making Naruto cry even more. "But not Naruto. Naruto is a one in a million. He will never turn his back on his comrades and his friends. And He's a ninja of Konoha, and don't you dare speak ill of him, said Iruka, making Naruto's eyes wide in surprise. Well, Iruka, I was going to save it for last, but I guess. As he pulled another Fuma shuriken, but Naruto crashed right into him, knocking him back. You little brat. Naruto held his hand together. You hurt my sensei. I'm gonna make you pay. Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. As Mizuki and Iruka's eyes went wide. As the entire place was surrounded by Naruto clones. As Mizuki was beyond shock. Let's get him! As all of them rushed in. Moments later, I guess I went a bit too hard, Naruto said, looking at the twitching Mizuki on the ground. Well, at least he won't be hurting Iruka-sensei anymore. Naruto, come here, Iruka said. As Naruto walked over, close your eyes. As Naruto did as he was told, he felt the goggles on his head being removed, and he felt another weight to replace it. As Naruto opened his eyes and touched his forehead. Wait, is this? Congratulations, Iruka said. You graduate. Really, sensei? As Iruka nodded, as Naruto jumped and gave him a big hug. Moments later, as Sarutobi looked at Naruto, you alright? Is it true? What Mizuki said. Is it true, Naruto asked. Sarutobi sighed, it is. So I am the demon, he asked. Sarutobi grabbed Naruto by his shoulders, making Naruto look up at him. Naruto, I want you to listen to me carefully. You are not a demon when the fourth seal of Kyuubi into you. He had made it his dying wish for you to be seen as a hero. A hero? Why? Because you have been keeping us safe all these years by keeping the Kyuubi at bay, by locking him away. Really? Yes. You're the hero of Konoha. Then, how comes everyone hate me, Naruto asks. It's because of the art of Fuinjutsu. Many of the people don't understand, and you already know in this world. Knowledge is everything, and what they don't know, they are scared of. They're just unsure. They don't hate you, they're unsure of whether the being inside you can be held back by a seal. And since that many of them don't have the knowledge of Fuinjutsu, that is why. As Naruto wondered, could he get people to see past Kyuubi and see him as Naruto Uzumaki? Maybe if I show them how good of a ninja I am, maybe if I get strong enough to protect the village and save them all, then they will not look at me with hate anymore, he wondered. As Naruto looked up at Sarutobi, I'll show them that I'm not the Kyuubi, that I'm Uzumaki Naruto, future Hokage of Konoha, he said, and everyone better believe that. As Sarutobi smiled at seeing the boy with the fire returning. As Naruto smiled, oh yeah, I want to ask you something. You know about the jutsu I learned, right? Yeah, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Well, I read something about memory recovering. What's that? He asked. A smile came on Sarutobi's face, knowing Naruto abnormally large chakra. This could help him a lot. Yes, it would. You see, memory feedback is the original getting the memories of the clone that he used and then dispel. Whenever a clone is dispelled, no matter what the cause, all the information go back to the original. Oh, like when I created those 10 in the forest and saw 10 different sides, Naruto said. Yes. The Shadow Clone Jutsu is a very powerful technique in that way. How so? Well, think about it, Naruto. It's an excellent jutsu to learn things with, new things, and get stronger. You can learn anything from your clones, from chakra control, and jutsus, to the books you read, and taijutsu, since muscle memory is a factor as well. They can be used for training, Naruto thought, as he thought about it. But only you, Naruto, will be able to use this jutsu to the full potential. Why is that? As he was surprised, something only he could do? Well, because you're the only one that can summon so much chakra to make so much clones, to make the training be effective. Most ninjas across the world, even jonins, can only make 5 to 10 if they're lucky. Huh, and I made nearly 1,000 in the clearing, Naruto said. That you did, said Sarutobi. But it takes more than spamming out clones to be a great ninja. You have to train hard. Don't you worry, old man, I'll train hard as possible. I'll become the strongest ninja in the entire elemental nations. I'm sure you will, and to help I have some advice for you. But I want you to listen to everything to the letter, okay? Don't worry, old man, I promise on my honor, and as a future Hokage I'll listen to your advice. Very well then. Now since you're a shinobi, you'll have access to the ninja library. There you'll find scrolls on chakra theory, controls, and ninja basics. I think they even have a few books on Funjutsu if you're interested. Though you have to read things about politics and civilian practice. If you're going to be Hokage, you need to know these things. And find a basic taijutsu style that will suit you, if the normal style does not. Promise me you will start out small with all the basics first. You need the basics before moving on to anything else. Promise me you will do this. You got it. First thing tomorrow morning I'll go to the library and look up all that information. Though, I don't know if they'll let me in, Naruto said, with a frown on his face. Well, he knew that a lot of places didn't let Naruto enter, but the library and those places were government shops. He was the only one can ban someone from those places. It's not a well-owned restaurant like any other public place. If they try to bar you entrance, just tell them barring entrance on shinobi is illegal, and if they want they can take it up with me. Also, might I suggest some new clothes? Huh? New clothes? What's wrong with these clothes, Naruto said. They're warm, comfortable, and orange. And orange. He liked orange. Naruto, I know you like the color orange, but it's not the good color for a shinobi. When you're out on a mission, those clothes will stick out like a sore thumb, and a ninja is supposed to blend in. Besides, if you wear clothes that are more shinobi-like, it will add a powerful, mysterious interest to you. To make people recognize how powerful of a ninja you are. Alright, Naruto said, I'll do it. Alright then, you have a whole week to get stronger before you get your Jonin Sensei assigned. With the clones, you should at least get a decent amount of knowledge in your class, and learn all the basics quickly. Now, it's getting late, so why don't you go to bed? That way you can start early tomorrow. Right, Naruto said. I'll see you later, he said as he waved off the old man. As Sarutobi smiled as Naruto left. With the knowledge of that, he should be able to grow strong. As he looked over a picture at Minato, your son, it's going to be a great shinobi, he said. The next day, Naruto took what happened last night to heart. As he was already at the library, as his eyes widened when entering, he has never been here before. There were about 4 stories, and all along the wall were books. Loads and loads of books. Just as he was about to make his way to the ninja section, he was stopped by the custodian. I'm going to have to ask you to leave, boy. The custodian, a woman in her mid-50s, said. His first desire was to jump at her and shout that she could not kick him out, but he promised the old man that he would be a great ninja. And he knew that ninjas don't lose their cool over something like this. Listen, lady. I happen to be a shinobi of Konoha, and it's illegal to stop me from entering the library. Look, he said as he pointed to his headband, as the woman paled a bit. Of course, if you feel this is still a problem, I'm sure I can escort you to see the Hokage, and we can work it out from there. The woman took a step back in shock, unsure what to do with the situation. He had never come here before, so this was not a pressing issue. But like other people, she didn't want him in here, like how other people didn't want him in their places. But she realized there was nothing, absolutely nothing she could do. As it was well known that the Hokage was favored with the boy, and would favor him over her. Fine, she said, you can stay. But take care when reading, because if any of these books are out of place or damaged, you will be held responsible. Naruto snorted as she walked off. Seriously, did she really think that she could scare the great Uzumaki with such a lame threat? As Naruto went to the shinobi library part, as he greeted 5 clones. Alright, I want you guys to find some books on chakra, seals, taijutsu, basic shinobi skills. That will be fine, and also find some books on politics. Digi said it would be important when I become Hokage, Naruto said. Wait, what will you be doing? One of the clones asked. He was angry. The creator was shoving off all, reading on them. I'm gonna go shopping, Naruto said. After all, if I want to be a good shinobi, I have to look cool as well, right? Moments later, Naruto sighed as he was kicked out of another store. Unlike the library, these stores were people-owned, so they could kick him out, and the Hokage couldn't stop them from doing that. As he sighed, none of them wanted to sell him. As he arrived at a store named Higurashi Weapon Shop, deciding to give this place a try, he walked in. Looking around, the first thing he noticed, whoever owned this place really loved weapons. There were racks upon racks of weapons lining the entire shop. Swords, staffs, scythes, everything. Can I help you? Naruto quickly turned around as he saw a girl behind him. She looked to be probably a year older than him. Wearing a Chinese style pink tank top, dark green cargo pants, and her hair done up in 2 buns. As he thought that she kinda looked like a panda or a mouse. Hello, the girl said, waving in front of his face. What? Naruto said as he blushed in embarrassment as he took a step back. She simply rolled her eyes. I was asking, Do you need help finding anything? She said. You work here? Naruto said. That's right, my name is Higurashi Tenten. My father owned this store, so I come in and help when I'm not on missions. You're a ninja then, Naruto said. Yeah. I have been, for a year now, she said. That's awesome, I just graduated, Naruto said. Oh yeah, you can help me. I was looking to get some new clothes. I can see why, Tenten said, the amused smirk. Your clothes. They're hideous. Hey, these clothes are warm and comfortable. And ugly, she said, cutting them off. Seriously, who wear orange? I like orange, Naruto said. Seriously, what was with you people? This none is color orange. It's the best color in the world and it's also my favorite color. Even so, it's not a good color for a ninja when it's so bright and obvious. Naruto took in a deep breath as he promised not to outburst or do stupid things. He released the breath. Look, can you help me out or not? Sure, she said, as she was amused by his reaction, as she took him over towards the clothing selection. So what are you looking for exactly, she asked. As Naruto thought he wanted something cool, that made him look mysterious, something that screamed powerful and awesome. You know, I'm not sure. I had never really shopped for clothes before, so... You're kidding, right? She said, as he shook his head no. Well then, we're just gonna have to see what works, she said. As for the next few hours, she turned him to a basically life-size dress-up doll. Eventually, she found a style that fit him. He was wearing dark, black shinobi pants, tucked into black steel combat boots instead of sandals. He had a black sleeveless, Chinese shirt style like her, with an orange trim going down, slightly orange. She had tried to talk him out of it, but he was stuck with that color. Well, at least it wasn't bright as the first one, and was in a very darker tone. His hands were covered in fingerless gloves that had metal knuckles that he could channel chakra into to increase the damage. His arms were also covered in black bandages up to his bicep. Over that, she threw on a black cloak that covered his form down to his ankles. She then changed the strap to his headband, giving a long black fabric that went down. There, you look much better now, she said. Now that she was seeing him without the orange, he actually looked kind of cute. Now you look like a real shinobi. You think so? Of course I do, she said. So will that be all? Yes, he then froze. Hey, is anyone home? She said, as Naruto got a memory from one of its clones. This kid is so weird, she said. Actually, I need some more things, he said. First, do you have any training weights I can buy? Of course, she said. She lead him over to a section of the store as she grabbed a box. This has a 2-pair set of training weights, one for the arm and one for the leg. To change your weight, you just chant chakra into them, and to release the weights, you just hold your hand and release seal and say kai. As Naruto grabbed it, thanks, he said. Next up, I need a standard set of kunai, shurikens, explosive notes, smoke bombs, ninja wire, flash tags, a sealing scroll to put it all in, and... He closed his eyes as another clone information hit him. Oh yeah, and a bow staff. A bow staff, huh? Well, you're in luck because we have all those things. Now then, what kind of bow staff are you looking for? As she brought him around, Naruto blinked as he went through the information of the clone. It needs to be made of a light material, but have heavier ends for added force. If I can get something with have some kind of a stud or protrusions that can do more damage, that would be awesome as well. And I want to be able to channel chakra through it. Wow, that's quite detailed. The both of them spin around as a man was standing there. He looked a bit like Tenten, but he was large, with muscles part of every part of his body. He even had muscles on his muscles, brown hair and brown eyes just like her. He was wearing a white shirt, brown pants and brown boots. Damn it, Dad, said Tenten. How many times have I told you not to sneak up on me, she said. And especially when I'm with a customer. He merely laughed. Oh, take it easy, Tenten. And besides, aren't you ninjas supposed to be aware of your surroundings? Do you want to be used as target practice again? She asked. His sweat dropped as he coughed. He turned his attention to Naruto. So, I heard what you want. That's a pretty, descriptive weapon. You're fortunate. I have just the thing. As they were taken to a back room, as he climbed up on a ladder. Ah, here we are, he said, as he came back down a large object that was wrapped in cloth. This was actually custom made for someone else, but he died before I could give it to him. Since he's just been collecting dust over the years, I figure I may get rid of it. As they went back around the front, there's a man ringing Naruto up. Though all this stuff will come to 10,000 yen, Naruto cringed a bit. But he knew it was necessary even though this will put him back a bit though. I think you miss the staff, Naruto said though, because the staff should be a lot more expensive. Nah, it's good. You can have it to remember your first time shopping here. Tintin was confused. Her father has never given anything away, and that was a fine piece of work, and he just gave it to someone he never met before. As Naruto was even more shocked, this man had to know that he contained the beast as well. As the Hokage told him that everyone that was old enough knew about his status, and this thing that it took a lot of time to create. Why? Naruto said. You know who I am, Naruto said, as his hand unconsciously went down to his stomach. Tintin was confused as her dad just looked at him. Because kid, I'm not like most of the fools in this village. Besides, I'm not giving this away for free. As Naruto looked up, I expect when you want your shinobi needs you, come here. As Naruto gave the two of them a big smile. Thanks mister, he said. It's Kaido. Thanks Kaido-san, Naruto said, as he gave a bow before grabbing his things and running off with a grin on his face. I'll make sure this staff become famous and I'm Hokage, he said right at the door. As Tintin turned to her father. What was that about? Nothing that concerns you for now, Tintin, said Kaido. Minato, Kushina, I hope that this can help your legacy grow, said Kaido to himself. It's all I can do for him now. The next day, Naruto realized that he couldn't do a normal clone because he had too much chakra and he needed to learn how to control it. So, he has been starting chakra control, as he created 100 clones and had them split up into 5 groups. And also with the fighting style, he realized that Mizuki has been teaching him the wrong fighting style, as he was the instructor of the taijutsu, and the man has been teaching him rubbish. Even with the real style though, Naruto felt like it didn't fit him. Something felt off. So he was going to learn them all, and then try to combine them into something that would work for him. Right now he was learning a style, the art of 8 limbs, as you use all of your body force in this battle. So far this style was what he was most comfortable with right now, because Naruto was always a brawler. Another group was working with the bow staff, as they were making sure the muscle memory would be in their minds when they transfer, so he would get all of it. But even though he's learned all of this, he needs a proper training master. So, when he is ready to fight someone in real life, he will know how to properly use it, because the person might have more experience than him. The next group was reading. They were reading on chakra theory, hand signs, trap makings, fuinjutsu, and shinobi aspects. The other group was working in calligraphy, as Naruto knew that the 4th Hokage was good at fuinjutsu and writing with that brush and ink, and he was going to surpass him, so he wanted to be better at him than that. The first thing he learned, he had to have a steady hand and write neatly on the brush, or the seal could explode, or something even worse. So Naruto delegated a group of clones to get a better handwriting. Meanwhile, Naruto worked on the physical part as he ran around the training field. As he was at training ground 43, it was right next to the forest of death. Well, not that he knew that, as he had 20 pounds on each hand and 30 pounds on each legs. He planned on increasing it in an hour to increase his speed. He did 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, and 50 pull-ups, 100 squats, 100 punches, and 100 kicks with each legs in hand. And that was his morning routine. After that he collapsed. Naruto has never really felt tired before, something he probably got from the Kyuubi. Oh sure, sometimes he could get sleepy, but not because of lack of energy. Right now he was dead tired. As he turned towards his clone and told him to dispel, but the idiots all dispelled at once as it was too much, knocking him out. As he collapsed. It had been an hour later when he woke up. After doing that, he summoned some more clones. Next time, they're going to dispel in small groups. Go hunting and see if you can find something to eat, Naruto told the clone, as he already spent so much money on his equipment and everything. As Naruto created a fire pit, digging it out and placing all the rocks. As Naruto slowly went through hand sign, lighting it with his fire release. It was a basic jutsu. It was rather easy to learn. Hey boss, as Naruto turned to see his clones, one in the middle with several fishes. Good jobs, Naruto said. He then realized he was complimenting himself. Go ahead and dispel yourself, he said. After eating and resting for a few minutes or so, he got back to training and sent his clones out again, the 100 clones. As Naruto sat down and started to meditate as he channeled chakra to his ears, He had to wince out as he heard everything around him, as he slowly listened the amount to his ears. As he heard running water, he also heard roaring and growling coming from the forest. After that, Naruto picked up himself. Multi-shell clone jutsu, he said, as there was at least 400 more clones in the field. Alright, all of you who I just summoned, this is going to be a battle royale versus me, as he went into his fighting style. As they all came at him, little did he know he was being watched. Hours later, yeah, ass kicking. More like getting my ass kicked, Naruto thought, as he dropped in his bed, not even bothering to take off his clothes. His cuts and bruises just started to heal. Maybe fighting 400 of himself was not a good idea. Despite that, he felt really good. He felt really good that he did something great today, as he never really pushed himself or trained so hard before. Things were really coming along, and he was happy for that, as he looked over to see that it was nearing 10 o'clock, as he decided to get some sleep. The next day, as he finished his early morning exercise, he started to have his clones dispel a group of 10, so he will not get overloaded and pass out just like before. As he was going to make another fire pit, as he heard a whistling sound. A sound that he heard a lot yesterday because of his clones throwing kunais at him. Dropping the rocks in his hand, Naruto rolled forward, pulling a kunai from his pouch at the same time, as he saw oddly flat kunai sticking in the ground. As Naruto scanned the area, trying to find the person, but he couldn't. "Who are you? Show yourself," Naruto said, as a few more kunais and shurikens launched from the trees, as he blocked and dodged some of them, and tossed even kunais into the trees where they came from. As the person jumped out, as it was a woman who landed right in front of him. She had on a dark orange miniskirt that merely covered her, a fishnet shirt that barely did anything, and she had no bra under it as far as he could see, but she had on a trench coat over that. Dark purple hair that kind of looked like Shikamaru, pineapple hairstyle, with black boots. The sight of this woman, who he thought was beautiful, made him blush and look away. Of course she noticed that. "I take it you like what you see, kiddo." "Well, as he started to stutter. Anko grinned widened. "You know, I usually castrate man for staring at me, but I'm gonna make an exception this once." Those words reboot Naruto, you know. You don't have any right to attack man for looking at you, since the clothing you're wearing make you stand out a lot. "Oh, so you can speak. I thought you were mute," she said. "Look, I'm not in the mood to play game with you. So, either tell me who you are and then leave me alone," he said. "Hey, don't take that tone of voice with me, kid." As she pulled a kunai and tossed it towards him, it sliced Naruto's cheek. She flashed away and appeared behind him with another kunai at his throat. "Damn, she's fast," Naruto thought. "I was just curious to see who was trained out here, that's all," she said, in a pouty voice, as she pressed herself right into his back. As Naruto shivered, and his blush came back full force, making her laugh. "Besides, when you get a new neighbor, it's good that you come to greet them." "Neighbor?" Naruto asked, as he tried to ignore the feel of her breast pressed against his back, as he had absolutely no clue what to do in this situation. "Yeah, that's right," she said. She leaned closer, as Naruto froze and she licked the blood off his cheek, as she saw that the wound was gone completely, already healed. "Well, this training field is right next to my home," she said. "Well, home away from home." "You trained there?" Naruto said. He was surprised, because his enhanced hearing, he had heard some monstrous things in there growling and roaring. "Yes, it's such a great place. All the creatures that would like nothing more than to kill you. The giant tigers that love to feast on human flesh, spiders, man-eating plants." As she was listing them off, Naruto thought, "Dear God, this woman must be crazy to go in there." And listen to her talk, it's like she get off on these kind of things. Although she does seem strong, she flashed behind me so quickly. It was obvious when she first got my attention she was toying with me. I wonder. "You know, you never told me your name." As Naruto interrupted her as she was talking about Dango. How did she got on that topic? Naruto didn't even know. "Well, since you're asking, why don't you tell me your name first, kid?" she said. "Well, since you interrupted my training, I think it's best you introduce yourself first," Naruto said. "Well, you got me there," she said. "Alright, I'm the super amazing sexy Midarashi Anko," she said. As Naruto gave her a grin as she let go of him as he turned around. "And I'm Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto. Future Hokage of Konoha, he said, as he stuck out his hand. Pleasure to meet you. Anko blinked in surprise. Wait, this is the Kyuubi kid. Last time I saw him, he was wearing that idiotic orange jumpsuit. She did not see him often. She always saw him doing pranks, and they were pretty funny. I wonder what caused the change, she thought, looking him over in his new suit. Pleasure to meet you, kid, she said. She shook his hand. You know, I told you my name so you can use it. I know, she said. As Naruto sighed, hey Anko, that was really awesome that you threw that kunai and then you got behind me so super fast. So I was wondering, can you help me with my training? Anko was surprised. She never thought that he would request something like that. Seeing that she just came out here because most people stay away from her turf, the first of death. However, she wouldn't be able to spend so much time with the boy. But she also was curious. Everyone knew of him. Instead of being called the Kyuubi brat, he was also the prankster king from hell. As she heard that the only reason why he passed was because he defeated a Chunin and saved Iruka with some high-level jutsu. And yet here he was training with a buttload of clones, something that only he could do. He was rough around the edges, she could tell that he just started learning taijutsu style. As she smiled, what makes you think I want to train a brat like you? Hey, I'm not a brat, Naruto said. And there is a reason, he said, because if you train me, you can brag that you got to teach a Hokage of Konoha. Future Hokage, huh? Well, let's see. Alright kid, just meet me at training ground 44 tomorrow, and we shall begin your training, she said. Which training ground is training ground 44, Naruto asked, completely oblivious to her slip up. As she pointed towards the forest where he had heard all the creepy ass noises coming from the other day. As Naruto felt a shiver went down his spine, but he agreed anyways. The next day, Naruto jumped as he dodged the snake incoming from his left. As he landed on a tree branch, as he panted, as his cuts were healing, and the bit of snake venom in his body were being flushed out. That psychotic woman, as he had met her, he was following behind her into the forest, and then all of a sudden she just disappeared. And then snakes, kunai, shurikens, all of them started to be launched at him from everywhere. He had yet to see her, only seen a few glances here and there before she launched something at him. To top it off, all of the creatures in here were coming at him as well. Everything from giant spiders to giant plants, all of them were trying to kill him and devour him. So he had to worry about the creatures in the forest as well. Training my ass. She just wanted to torture some poor sap, and I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, as he was beginning to regret asking her to train him. As soon as he was out of here, he was going to learn some ninjutsu, seeing that physical, even enhancing his fist with chakra could not kill these things. As he looked up to see a spider diving at him, as Naruto pulled out a kunai and thrust it upwards. The spider merely shrugged it off as it stuck right into him, but then it exploded, tearing the spider body apart. This was one thing the forest had given him, better aim, since without it, he would have been dead a long time ago. As Naruto jumped and landed on the ground, as he pressed his back against a tree, trying to get a breather. Before he could though, several kunais came down as he blocked some of them with his own kunai as he rolled on the ground out of the way. Anko then swooped down on him like some bird coming down for their prey, as he dodged her for a swipe and jumped away. As he thrust a kunai at her, but she grabbed it and threw it back twice as fast. As Naruto was able to turn but not so fast, he got a cut on his right arm. He rushed towards Anko, designed to test his taijutsu, as a wicked grin came on her face, but he ignored it. Hidden shadow snake, she said. Several snakes were clean from her sleep. As she used this enough, Naruto was expecting it, as he dodged to the right. What he did not expect for them to change in mid-direction, as they grabbed and wrapped around him tightly. You know, charging at an opponent who is stronger than you is just stupid, she said. As she looked at him with a smirk. She had had a lot of fun today. Yeah, I kinda figured that. But at the moment I only have the transformation, the clone jutsu, and the substitution, he said. None of those can be used for long range attacks and you're too fast for me to try and use my kunais. This is true, you should have taken the time ahead to set up some traps or something instead. It's kinda hard to do that when you're busy fighting for your life. As Anko's snakes poofed away off of him. Yeah, I suppose it is, she said. But in real life you have to think quickly, or else you'll get yourself and others killed on the field. Yeah, Naruto said, rubbing his sore ribs, I know. Now then, Anko said, Since I was kind enough to help you train, you're gonna buy me Dango. What? Yes, you're gonna buy me Dango. But she then pouted. Alright, fine, he said, as Naruto mourned his upcoming money, as she grabbed him and pulled him away to her favorite Dango stand. Moments later, that was good, said Anko. 14 plates, Naruto thought. As he shook his head, I hope you enjoy, he said, as his stomach grumbled. If you were that hungry, why didn't you eat as well, she asked. Naruto sighed, thinking about lying to her. But she had worked in interrogation and intel department, so she would catch his lie rather quickly. You already cleaned me out of money, he said, as he held up his empty frog wallet. Until I go on missions, I don't even have money to pay for utilities. Anko looked down and she started to feel bad that she just ate him out of his money. Then why did you pay for my food, she said. Because you helped me, Naruto said. You're the first person to ever help me this directly. Even the old man doesn't help me like that. Anko felt worse hearing that. What about your stipend? You're an orphan, right? Don't you get some kind of monthly allowance or whatever, she said. Naruto shrugged. Yeah, when I was a civilian. But now that I'm a shinobi, I won't be getting one anymore. Seeing that I'm considered as an adult. As he noticed her guilty expression. Look, don't worry about it. I can get some kind of part-time job when I'm not on missions. You know, you're a weird kid. I eat away the last of your money and you told me not to worry about it. Great, now I feel bad. Tell you what, I'll help you train when I'm not on missions or torturing some poor sap for free. In return, all you have to do is start giving me a good fight. She kinda scared shit out of him. Yeah, she really scared shit out of him. But she could make him strong. And he was happy that she would put in the time and the effort. You got yourself a deal, he said. But guys, I'll be ending this episode right here. If you enjoyed this series and want to see part 2, go ahead and tell me down in the comments, guys. I'll be posting part 2 as soon as possible. But I'm out for now. Stay in tune. Peace.